Hilarious. Blackford turn laughingstock after throwing Boris under the bus backfired spectacularly. Ian Blackford has been accused of playing student politics, as his pledge to table a motion to formally censure Boris Johnson is a waste of vital parliamentary time. The SNP's Westminster leader announced yesterday, Sunday, he would submit the motion in the House of Commons on Tuesday. Mr. Blackford said the Prime Minister needed to be held to account for his disastrous actions. He said his party would act as the real opposition by rebuking Mr. Johnson. The move has drawn the ire of many Brits, who see it as a political stunt at a time when parliamentary debates should be used to discuss the pressing matters facing the nation. Hannah Al-Othman, a Sunday Times journalist, wrote, "What a waste of vital parliamentary time." She added that Mr. Johnson has got a majority of almost 80 inches and that there is absolutely no way it will succeed. Ms. Al-Othman said, "It's nothing but a play to social media and a waste of time. This is the stuff of student politics." Ben Walker, co-founder of polling site Britain Elects, said, "Well, at least it's a way of upping the numbers for Yes campaign, I guess." The Conservative government has a working majority of 77 seats in the Commons. This means it is highly unlikely Mr. Blackford's motion will pass, as it would require a major rebellion. Speaking at the SNP's virtual conference, the MP for Ross, Skye and Loch Harbour accused Mr. Johnson of presiding over an omnibus of omnishambles during his time leading the government. He claimed Downing Street was guilty of chaotic governance. Mr. Blackford added that a recent speech in which the Prime Minister referenced children's cartoon character Peppa Pig was evidence Mr. Johnson was becoming deeper and deeper out of his depth. The SNP MP said, unless he faces consequences for his disastrous actions, he won't just think he's gotten away with the mess he has made of the last few months, he will think he can do it all over again. Many Britons believe, however, that the attempt will be futile and of no consequence at all. Writing on Twitter, @Ryan_Wayne said, "Spoiler, Boris Johnson survives it." Meanwhile @One Paul Michael asked, "Will anyone notice?" @Hollierworth commented, "Have they considered actually helping their Scottish constituents, rather than pointless stunts such as this? The UK deserves better than this government, and Scotland deserves better than the SNP." And @Also Dan Luther noted, "They have an 80-seat majority, this is pointless." Jack Clark, chair of the Scottish Young Liberals, claimed the SNP are keeping the Tories in power. Mr. Johnson defended his record in Parliament last week. On Wednesday, he told MPs, "We are delivering for the working people of this country. We are fixing the problems that they thought could never be fixed, and we are doing things that they thought were impossible. There are now more people in work in this country than there were before the pandemic began. That is because of policies that this government has followed. Well, I can tell you it is no place for a negligent either." He added, "In the absence of actions from others in holding this Prime Minister to account, it is once again our job as the Scottish National Party to act as the real opposition. On Tuesday, the SNP will use our opposition day to put down a motion of censure against this Prime Minister. Because unless this Prime Minister is censured, unless he faces consequences for his disastrous actions, he won't just think he's gotten away with the mess he has made of the last few months. He will think he can do it all over again." His comments came as he sought to contrast Mr. Johnson's government in London with the Scottish government that Nicola Sturgeon heads. Ms. Sturgeon, the SNP leader and Scottish First Minister, showed mature, measured, and thoughtful leadership at the recent COP26 climate change conference in Glasgow, Mr. Blackford said. However, he said Mr. Johnson had produced an omnibus of omnishambles while in charge at Westminster. Mr. Blackford went on to accuse the Tories of deliberate corruption, saying in Mr. Johnson's time as PM there had been a cash for honours scandal, a cash for contracts scandal, a text for tax breaks scandal and even a cash for curtains scandal. The SNP Westminster leader insisted, Scotland must have the chance to escape that crippling corruption. Because with independence we can do so much better than this. Since the 2014 independence referendum, in which Scots voted to stay part of the UK, he said the stability of the status quo, the stability of the United Kingdom, has systematically fallen apart.